Good evening.
And welcome to Riddicks
On
Marvel.
Whoop whoop.
Sarah, what have we got this week?
This week we are doing, oh my god, I'm going to get the name of the film wrong, 2011's Captain America, the First Avenger.
Great film.
Yes.
Before we get started, do you want to kick us off with the IMDb description of the film?
Yes, I do. So, Steve Rogers, a rejected military soldier, transforms into Captain America after taking a dose of super soldier serum. But being Captain America comes at a price as he attempts to take down a warmonger and a terrorist organization.
It's a pretty good description of the film.
Covers it.
Yeah. All right. So let's start off with, tell me your feelings on this film.
I really like this film.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I love the whole aesthetic of it,
Yeah.
which helps because that whole... Well, I don't know what year it's supposed to be, like 1940s, early 1940s?
43 to 45 is what the film covers.
Yeah, of course. When America waded into World War II, they'd let the Nazis do what they wanted to do, and then as soon as it touched their doorstep, they came along. Anyway, politics aside. No, this is a great film. It's real wholesome. I love Chris Evans in the role as Captain America. I think he's fantastic. I love Hayley Atwell as well as Peggy Carter. We'll probably talk about it later, but later on in the Marvel universe, she gets her own series, which is one of my favourite TV series.
Yeah.
It's just lovely, and look, it probably is for the girls. But you know what? I'm a girl.
Yeah.
And I love it.
And she is great.
And she's fantastic in the role. She's really natural.
Yeah.
And she actually, she looks like she fits the era.
Yeah, she 100%, you drop her in the 40s and she absolutely works.
That's it. Like, you very often get actors who are put in period attire or, like, period hairstyles and makeup, and it just looks like they're a 21st century time traveler.
Yeah, do you remember that tweet that was, I think it was about Ben Affleck in Pearl Harbor, and the tweet was like, this guy has a face that has seen an iPhone.
I don't remember that, but that's very accurate.
Yeah, but she totally, she works in the 40s.
Yeah, she's beautiful. But yeah, no, I really like this film. What about yourself?
Yeah, it's so good. I obviously love all of these films and stuff, but Captain America is certainly one of my favorite of Marvel's characters, particularly in the MCU. So love that. Love the period setting. The cast is unbelievable. So you've got the top two there. There's also Sebastian Stan as Bucky Barnes. He's another person that they put him in the costumes of the era and he looks like a man from the 40s.
Yeah.
Really does.
He's got the GI hat at the jaunty angle and everything. It really suits him.
Yeah, that whole thing. He looks great. And
Hugo Weaving
as the Red Skull is absolutely fantastic. Now, Hugo Weaving, again, can kind of just do anything. He's amazing.
Inhabits the Nazi well.
He does.
Yeah.
Which, I know you mean that as a compliment, but
I do.
Yikes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a great film. It's top tier. It was great when it came out to, as the fifth film of the MCU, change it up a bit by doing a period piece.
Very much so.
Which is really great. So yeah, it's fantastic. So let's get into it.
Yeah.
So the film opens present day with some agents discovering a ship in the Arctic that has just been uncovered by changes in the weather or whatever, and they find a person buried in the ice. And then it pretty much immediately cuts back to 1943, where we see Johann Schmidt, played by Hugo Weaving, discover or uncover a relic, and it's this glowing blue cube. Do you want to tell us about the glowing blue cube? I can't say glowing blue cube.
I believe the glowing blue cube is the Tesseract, which is one of the Infinity Stones.
Yeah, so we'll later find out that it's one of the 6 Infinity Stones.
Right.
It is, in its look, based on getting into comic nerd stuff now, but in its look, it's based off the Cosmic Cube from the comics.
I see.
Which is basically this magic cube that just grants you wishes. So I guess they were like, we love the aesthetic. That's a bit silly though. So we'll later make this an Infinity Stone.
You know the way the other Infinity Stones are, like the Space Stone and the Time Stone and whatever. Is the Tesseract a blah stone?
The Tesseract is the Space Stone.
Oh,
yeah.
Fantastic.
So,
why are they trying to confuse me?
So we later discovered that the Tesseract is just a box holding the Space Stone.
Is that discovered in a film?
In Infinity War.
Oh, so I should know this.
Well, we'll get to it and you'll remember.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's the first of the 6 Infinity Stones to show up in any of the movies, but we don't, at this point, know that that's what it is.
Okie doke.
So, He gets that, and that will be his plot point for the movie. Him and his scientist sidekick are going to use the Tesseract to create weapons.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, in Brooklyn, Steve Rogers is this skinny little guy who keeps trying to enlist in the army, but can't because he's unhealthy and he's a little whippet of a thing. But he keeps trying anyway because he wants to fight in the war like his best friend Bucky Barnes, as I said, played by Sebastian Stan, who is unbelievable. So on the Steve Rogers being a skinny little whippet of a thing, this looks incredible. So it's Chris Evans, who is 6'2" and a slab of muscle, but in these early scenes he is like 5'4" or something like that, or maybe not that short, but he's like a short skinny dude.
Yeah,
the effects are incredible.
Yeah, it looks really good. It's really well done. It stands up well because this was 15 years ago?
Yeah.
So it stands up surprisingly well to me.
They did it in a cool way. So they shot all of the scenes 3 times.
Okay.
So once with a stand-in who was that kind of
Little
body
dude.
shape or whatever.
Yep.
Once with Chris Evans, and then once with nobody in the scene apart from, the other actors or whatever. And then they kind of compiled them all together to...
Okay.
Just to make sure like the dimensions worked and to make sure that the final character like kind of moved like Chris Evans in a way.
So it always reminds me of the Fellowship of the Ring, because there's a scene in the Fellowship of the Ring where they're in Rivendell. They've just become the Fellowship.
Yeah.
And Lord Elrond, played by Hugo Weaving, stands up and goes, "You shall be the Fellowship of the Ring." And then there's just really dodgy shot of Legolas and what's his name? Oh my God, what's his name? The hot guy.
I thought Legolas was the hot guy.
Oh, Legolas is the blonde hot guy. Who's the other one?
Oh, Frodo.
No, what's his name? Aragorn. Jesus, bringing shame on the family. Legolas and Aragorn and Boromir and all the normal sized lads are standing there being normal sized, but they look like massive lads. And then the hobbits are shrunk down, and it just looks completely bananas. And then poor old Gimli standing there at the side being a dwarf, and they don't know what they're doing with him. So it looks shocking.
Yeah, and for a film like that where the effects otherwise are so good,
amazing. It takes you out of it so much.
Yeah.
So we're probably talking about 10 years in the difference between the Fellowship of the Ring and Captain America.
Yeah.
So obviously technology came along, and we know that when they were making Lord of the Rings, so much of what Peter Jackson did was new.
Yeah,
was newly
true.
developed for the film. So obviously there was major progression, but when you have that comparison of how kind of iffy that looked versus how well this does look, it's really nice to see the difference.
Yeah, it's cool, and it stands up. So anyway, Steve is trying to register for the army. Enlist in the army.
Sign up.
Yeah, he's trying to enlist, and he can't because of his
various asthmas and tuberculosis or whatever the hell else is wrong with him.
But this scientist, played by Stanley Tucci, overhears him say that basically he wants to fight Nazis because they're bullies or whatever. And Stanley Tucci thinks, what a wholesome guy, and lets him enlist and puts him in this super soldier program where they're going to give him this super soldier serum that will make him big and strong.
Where we meet when he gets to super soldier training camp, a man who doesn't look like he belongs in the 40s, Tommy Lee Jones.
I don't know where Tommy Lee Jones looks like he's from, but it's not there.
No, it's...
I associate Tommy Lee Jones now with No Country for Old Men.
Oh, okay.
Which is just like a Western setting where he's the sheriff and he looks and acts fantastic in that movie, and he's great.
I think for me it's Men in Black.
Okay, yeah, that works.
I love him in that. I love that film.
Yeah.
We should talk about that film someday.
Yeah. But yeah, Tommy Lee Jones is a real surprise in this movie.
Yeah, and I forget about him every time.
Yeah, but he's great. He does such a great job.
And he's very much a principal role in it.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, him.
Yeah, he's a big part.
Oops.
But he's great. But he looks a bit out of place, particularly in this film where a lot of the cast weren't big names. Tommy Lee Jones really jumps out at you.
Yeah.
Like Chris Evans had done some stuff or whatever, but I'd never seen Haley Atwell. I don't know if Sebastian Stan had been... Oh no, he'd been in like Gossip Girl or something like that.
Oh, he was, yes.
Which I didn't see, so I didn't know who he was. But like, you know who Tommy Lee Jones is when he comes on the screen.
Yeah.
And you know that pissed off sounding voice anywhere.
Yeah, that's gas. I wonder... I know I was saying before when we were talking about Thor that Anthony Hopkins gives an amazing performance, and like treats it serious as a heart attack.
Yeah.
I feel like Tommy Lee Jones maybe just rocked up and was like, whatever, I'm playing the army guy.
Yeah.
I'll just say my army lines.
Yeah.
I don't know what you want from me.
Looked at the script on the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And was like, I'll give you an approximation of what's written there.
Yeah.
So
like he showed up on day one and they're like, can you play a pissed off army guy? And he's like, absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't need the script. Don't
yeah.
whatever.
So I wonder, is it that? I wonder, is that why I feel he doesn't fit in?
Yeah.
Now, obviously, he's still great in it.
Yeah.
Like he could, even him phoning in a performance is still great crack.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just he feels like an anachronism in
Yeah.
the film. So anyway, all that to say, he's at super soldier camp.
Yep.
And they test him by like throwing a dummy grenade, and he jumps on it and goes, "Get away, everybody get away," because he wants to sacrifice himself.
Yeah.
Because this is some major army propaganda. It's
What
fantastic.
Oh yeah, this is like full on propaganda.
Yes. So he's like seems to sacrifice himself and save everyone, and then he's like using his brain to get the flag from the top of the pole, because anyone who gets the flag from the pole gets a lift back to camp. And instead of trying to climb the pole like all those other idiot meatheads did, he's like, "Oh, I'll just take the hinge out and just drop it to the ground," and it's probably a sacred flag or something.
Yeah.
But he uses his brain and he uses his heart,
Yeah.
and it's all very wholesome. And I sound like I'm slagging it, but I really enjoy it.
It is great though, because they show these bits of that training camp and him like conquering this and conquering that or whatever, but all that stuff kind of does come back later in the film, where you see him logic things out in a way that other people don't, and see him like be ready to sacrifice himself at a moment's notice for other people. It like sets the scene for his character really well, as well as moving the plot on.
Yeah, very effectively does that show don't tell thing of, look, he's weak and skinny, but he's got a good soul.
Yeah, absolutely. So they give him the super soldier serum with the help of Howard Stark, Tony Stark's dad.
Yes.
And he gets all big and muscular and strong. And basically, so a criticism I remember hearing from people when the movie came out was they didn't know what his superpowers are.
Okay.
But basically, the serum increases him to the peak of human potential in terms of his physicality. So like as strong as a guy can be, as fast as a guy can be, and as agile as a guy, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and I think Stanley Tucci's character kind of says that a little bit of like a bad man becomes worse, but a good man becomes better.
Yeah.
He sort of explains it that way.
Yeah.
But also, you're huge.
Exactly. And kind of showing him go into the tank as a skinny guy and come out absolutely beefed.
Yeah.
Like, it works.
Yeah. And in fairness, they're calling it a super soldier program.
Yeah.
He becomes a super soldier. That's his power. He's a super soldier. Like, what more do people want?
That'll do.
Come on.
Unfortunately, the whole thing has been infiltrated by a German Nazi who kills Stanley Tucci.
Harsh.
Yeah, so harsh. And then steals the remainder of the super soldier serum and runs away.
Yeah.
Steve Rogers chases him down, but before he can like arrest him or whatever, the guy crunches a cyanide pill that was hidden in his tooth.
Yeah.
And with his dying words, he says, "Hail Hydra."
Played by Richard Armitage.
He is one of those guys who is in like those like Harlan Coben TV shows and stuff.
That's exactly what he shows up in.
Yeah.
He's great.
Yeah, he's very good.
I didn't know him at the time, and then watching back years later, I'm like, oh my god, it's Richard Armitage. That's so cool. Look at him being in a Marvel film.
Yeah, he's very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't like those shows, I will say, but he's very good.
There was one really good one that he was in, or that I really enjoyed it. I think I made you watch it and you hated it.
Okay.
I can't even remember what it was called, so what does that say about it?
Yeah. Well, sure, look.
So Hail Hydra, so this is the first time we hear about Hydra.
Hydra, yeah.
By name.
Yeah, so Hydra, we will find out, is Johann Schmidt's little faction of the Nazi party.
Yeah.
That basically he's in charge of, and they're kind of the principal antagonists in the film.
Yeah, basically technologically advanced super Nazis.
Yeah. That was a fantastic way of summarizing
Thank
that.
you.
So, Steve Rogers wants to go and fight in the war, but the US government has other plans. They actually want him to just be a poster boy. So they slap a costume on him, tell him his name is Captain America, and they send him out to all these USO shows to try raise money for the war. And they have these backing dancers dance with them. And here's where we need to talk about the music in the film.
Yes. Firstly, every bond that you buy is a bullet in the barrel of your best guy's gun.
Well done.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
I know, right? But then, yes, we have this wonderful song, which I do not know the words to, but I love it.
But it's so 1940s.
Yes.
It's so perfect.
Yeah.
It is absolutely amazing. So the music in the film is by Alan Silvestri.
Of course.
Who we'll know from, he did the music for Back to the Future and loads of amazing stuff. he will go on to do a lot more music in the MCU. But the music all throughout is so perfectly 40s. It's so good.
Yeah. And I also, something I really like about the song, the is the way it's sung as well. There's a verse that is sung by the lower women.
Okay.
But it's sung in a really 1940s way.
Yeah.
They don't do it in a modern cadence. It's done properly.
Yeah.
Like it's from a film of the time. So it's just a really nice little touch.
Yeah, like they
that
don't
keeps you in the era.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of films they'd almost try to make it modern so that people will like it for today. But by not bowing to that, they just make it timeless. It's so good. So while he's on this tour of Europe doing his shows, he finds out that his best friend Bucky Barnes, who has been fighting in the war, has been kidnapped behind enemy lines.
Prisoner of war.
Yeah, with a bunch of other people. So Steve goes, you know what? I'm sick of being on stage and doing this. I'm Captain America. I'm going to go find him. And so he goes behind enemy lines and he rescues a bunch of the 101st Infantry.
And he does also steal a dancer's hat in order to do that, which is hilarious. I say hat, helmet.
Yeah.
It's not just a hat.
Yeah. But it's got an A on it.
Yep.
Like his costume.
A for America.
Yeah. So he goes and rescues the 101st Infantry and he brings them all back, and then he's hailed a hero, and then finally they're like, okay, you can fight in the war.
Yeah.
While he's there rescuing them, he comes across Johann Schmidt, who pulls off his face, which is revealed to be a mask that is hiding this disfigured red skull.
Yeah.
And that's where he gets his name, the Red Skull.
Pretty gross.
Yeah. We should mention, actually, the title of this film, Captain America, the First Avenger. So this is the first one of the MCU that has a subtitle.
Ah.
And the reason it does is...
Which is why I didn't know the name of the film at the start. Because I was like, it's just Captain America. I don't know.
There you go. The reason that it has a subtitle is that the producers kind of deftly realized that, you know what? America isn't the most popular country in the world. Maybe we should throw something on here that hints that this is part of the Avengers, which kind of people knew was coming at this point. Maybe we should throw that in so it's not quite so America.
Yes.
Which I think was a good move.
Yeah, I think so. Especially nowadays, everything's terrible.
Yep.
And America's part of a lot of that.
Yep.
So it would be very difficult to make a film that has so much military propaganda.
Yeah.
Keep it wholesome. Very difficult to keep it wholesome and keep it timeless.
Yeah.
In a way like that, so that you're not looking at it in 2026 when shit's going down and going, oh, fucking America.
Yeah.
That was a smart move on their behalf to kind of neutralize it a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can we also talk for a second about, we were talking there about how Cap goes in and rescues the 101st Airborne, and he gets a lift there from Howard Stark, played by Dominic Cooper.
Yeah.
That man cannot do an American accent.
Terrible.
It's shocking.
Absolutely dreadful American accent.
Like, who was he riding to get cast?
Why did they put him in that movie?
I don't understand.
Cast an American.
Literally, it makes no sense.
It's dreadful.
I don't know. Was there no one else?
He's quite charming in the role, but you really have to ignore the accent to get to that charm.
You really do.
Yeah, good.
And I don't dislike him.
Yeah.
He's incredible in Mamma Mia.
Yeah.
It's amazing. But in this, I'm like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, those are my feelings on the situation.
Yeah.
I just thought I'd interject with that. Yeah. Back to the prisoners.
Yeah. So he rescues them, and then he's allowed to become part of, the actual war effort. And then there's this cool montage of him with his newly formed team from the 101st that he calls the Howling Commandos. And it's just a montage of them going around tracking down Hydra bases and kicking ass.
We're gonna need a montage. Yeah. Ooh, it takes a montage.
The Howling Commandos also is a name that apparently Stan Lee came up with, and then someone bet him that he wasn't dumb enough to try put Howling Commandos as a team. And that's just something I read somewhere, but yeah, he was like, okay, I'm going to try and make it not dumb.
It'd be a really good band name.
Yeah. It is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like for a comic.
But it's just stupid enough that it works.
Yeah.
Like the Howling Commandos, like what does that even mean?
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Yeah, it's deadly. It's a cool team as well. So you've got that guy you like.
Neil McDonough.
Yeah. As Dum Dum Dugan. He's great.
So I love him from his Band of Brother days where he played Buck Compton. also a 1940 soldier.
Yeah.
So he really fits the era. Kenneth Choi.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
And he shows up later in the MCU as a descendant of his character.
Playing
from
his
this
own
movie.
grandson.
Yeah.
Which is beautiful.
Yeah, I love that.
And then there's a load of other people there.
Yeah.
You know, a load of other red shirts.
A lot of red shirts, but yeah. And Bucky, of course, is one of them. So for a couple of years then, they go fight Hydra.
Years?
Yeah, so the movie takes place kind of between 43 and 45.
Okay, I didn't know that much time passed.
Yeah. I guess that's like right from the get-go of Skinny Steve through his army training in the USO and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Right to the end.
So eventually they board a Hydra train where we find the scientist Arnim Zola, played by Toby Jones, who is Little Champion.
Yeah, little freak boy.
And so they're boarding that train to kidnap
him. Yeah. So he's the Red Skull's right-hand man. He's the scientist that's creating all the weapons. And they want to kidnap him to get intelligence on Hydra and also, you know, stop the weapons manufacturing.
All of these films have a little freak boy.
Yeah, they love a little freak boy.
Like who? I mean,
and Toby Jones is great, but he is made to play a little freak boy.
Yeah, but he's not one of the rat men.
No.
So we are going to talk in the future about how there's a whole very recent batch of rat boys.
Yeah.
Timothée Chalamet being the main rat boy.
Yeah.
And I say rat boy as in they look like rats that have been turned into humans.
In like a Disney way. In a Disney way.
That's it. If if Remy from Ratatouille was turned into a human, these would be his siblings.
Yeah.
You know, and they're just twitchy looking skinny lads.
Yeah. Who for some reason people are like, oh my God, he's the most gorgeous.
The youths of today, I don't understand it. And like, look, I know we were talking about Zac Efron's hair the other day.
Yeah.
But he never looked like a rat boy.
No, he was never a skinny little rat boy.
No, and he only had a glow up from the hair.
Yeah.
So, but there's no fixing the other rat boys. Anyway.
But Toby Jones is not one of those.
He's not a rat boy.
He's merely a little freak boy.
He's a little freak boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a great part of his performance. He does it so well. And we do love Toby Jones in this. He is great.
Brilliant.
He's so good. Unfortunately, while they're capturing Zola, Bucky gets into a big firefight with a bunch of Hydra guys and is thrown from the train to his death.
I forgot about that.
Awful news for Steve.
Yeah, I wouldn't have spent so much time talking about him being a freak boy.
Yeah.
If I'd remembered.
The death.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a low point for Steve.
Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah. Through all of this, Steve is developing a kind of a will they, won't they with Peggy Carter, and we hope they will throughout the movie. And you know, but they capture Zola and they learn about the Red Skull's plans to create all these weapons. And so towards the end of the movie then Steve and the Howling Commandos go on a final mission to try capture the Red Skull. They go to his like mountain base where they discover that he has plans to bomb all of these cities around the States. So he's got like all these planes with like New York and Chicago and all that written on the side of them, and they've all got bombs.
Somehow Tommy Lee Jones rocks up in a fancy car.
I think it's the Red Skull's supercar.
That's it, Johann Schmidt's supercar.
Yeah.
With Peggy Carter there. And then Steve gets to kiss Peggy before he jumps onto the plane. And then Tommy Lee Jones goes, I'm not kissing you. And that's just Tommy Lee Jones being him. I don't even know what his character's name is. General?
Colonel.
Did I demote him or promote him? I don't know anything about ranks.
Me neither. Is it Colonel Phillips? Colonel Phillips.
Chester Phillips.
Colonel
no
Chester
less.
Phillips.
Okay, well, Colonel Chester Phillips, inhabited by Tommy Lee Jones.
Yep.
Yes, does the I'm not kissing you. And then they turn at just the right time and he jumps onto the plane and has a big powwow.
With his Captain America shield made of the rarest metal on Earth, vibranium.
Oh my gosh.
And they have a big fight during which the Tesseract becomes, I don't know, it dislodges from where it was or whatever. And the Red Skull picks it up and it opens a portal into space and sucks him in. So he's gone.
That's not a nice way to go, I'd say.
Presumed dead, but then Steve realizes that there's no way to stop the plane that he's on and it's headed to New York and it's going to blow up everything, and he realizes he's got to take it down himself.
I got to put it in the water.
So he calls Peggy on the radio or whatever and he's like, I'm going down with the ship. And
Like Dido.
Yeah. So, and as Peggy cries, he crashes the ship into, I don't know, the ocean.
Some body of water.
But then we kind of cut to the US has won the war kind of a montage. And
VE Day. Woo.
Yeah, and then that's ostensibly the end of the film. However, we then cut to Steve Rogers waking up in a 1940 style hotel room. But
hospital room?
I say hotel room.
Well, you're very handsome.
Wakes up in a 1940 style hospital room.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. But something feels a bit off about it, so he breaks out of it and runs out the door, and he runs out onto the streets and finds himself in the middle of present-day Times Square, And he's like, what the hell? Sam Jackson shows up as Nick Fury. And he's like, you've been asleep, Cap, for a long, long time. And he's like, oh man, I had a date. And then cut to credits. And that's the end of the movie. So he's been basically frozen in ice for 65 years.
Yeah. And all the while, well, not all the while because he's dead, but for a time, Howard Stark did look for him.
Yeah.
And kept looking for the ship. Like, no, we'll just keep looking.
Yeah.
And that was very cute.
Yeah. They show Stark's men like find the Tesseract in the ocean, but he's like, well, we got to keep looking for Steve, which is nice. Yeah. Yeah.
Tragic. I will say the girl who plays the nurse, soldier, whatever she is, in Captain America's hospital room in present day.
I think you mean hotel room.
I do, of course. She looks like a 21st century person in 1940s costume.
Yes,
so that's
definitely.
really well cast in that way. I don't know if that's what they were going for.
No, that's a really good shout.
She doesn't fit it the way Hayley Atwell does.
Yeah.
So, because it's like her hair's too long. She looks altogether too healthy.
Yeah.
Like, where's the polio?
Yeah.
So she obviously has her vaccines.
Yeah.
And looks too modern.
Yeah.
To fit that kind of. So no wonder Steve was suspicious.
Yeah.
He's very smart.
He is very smart.
Yes.
So the Marvel comics have this kind of rolling time frame. So they kind of they never.
Is it kind of like The Simpsons where Lisa is always 8?
Yes.
Yes.
So Marvel comics are kind of the same thing. So when in the comics Steve Rogers is first discovered in the ice, it's in like the 60s. So he's only been in the ice for like 15, 20 years.
Okay.
Which hits a lot less hard than 65 years.
Well, it's because everyone you know is probably still be alive.
Yeah, exactly. They're just like a bit older and you're like, oh man, what have I missed?
Yeah.
But now with, time as it is, he's been in the ice for like 65 years. Most people he knows are dead. The world has totally changed.
Everyone's got iPhones.
Yeah. So that's kind of interesting. Also, the movie is called The First Avenger, but Captain America didn't appear in the Avengers until issue number 4. So he wasn't the first Avenger in the comics.
He was
like the 6th.
I was gonna pick a number. I was like, I don't have any information to back this up. Well, so I'm just gonna stop talking.
So the original Avengers were Iron Man, Thor, Hulk, Ant-Man and the Wasp. And then in issue 4 they discover a Cap.
The new lineup's way better.
Yeah, the modern lineup is cool.
I don't like the Wasp. We'll talk about that in the future.
We will.
Yeah.
The Wasp from the comics is different to the movie. But we'll get to that, absolutely. Okay. Because,
excellent.
we got some opinions on that.
I look forward to it. Okay, so what's your favourite bit?
I think probably my favourite, overall bit of the movie is the casting. So, you've said this already, but Chris Evans is amazing as Steve Rogers. Hayley Atwell is perfect as Peggy Carter. Sebastian Stan is brilliant. And they all, all the actors really inhabit the roles. They work really well together. Chris Evans actually turned down the role when he was offered it. So I think they wanted to screen test him for it or something. They offered, and he said no because he had previously been in the Fantastic Four movies as the Human Torch. And he was like, nah, I don't know if I want to do this again. And then they offered again, and he said no again. And finally, they just really wanted him, so they just offered him the part without any sort of audition or screen testing or whatever. And he still said no because he was afraid that, if it's a flop, it's another superhero flop. If it's a success, I might get too famous and have a really weird, uncomfortable life. And eventually it was Robert Downey Jr. called him and was like, come on board and do this. So yeah, the casting overall, I think, is the best part of the movie. Yeah. I don't think I have a negative part of the movie though. I really like it. It's just solid the whole way through. Not
wanting a part in a $1 billion movie series because it might make your life a bit difficult. Basic white man problem.
Yeah, can't relate to that.
Sorry. Oh no, I might be too wealthy. My gold shoes are too tight.
Yeah.
Come on, Chris Evans. People are starving.
Yeah.
Take the job.
I don't know how true it is, but apparently it did kind of ruin a relationship that he was in around the time because his partner at the time kind of got uncomfortable with how visible he was then. They couldn't walk down the street together without people constantly coming up to him and all that kind of stuff. And it kind of ended that apparently. So it did have a bit of a real world fallout.
Yeah.
But at the same time, guy never has to work again if he doesn't want.
That's the kind of thing that takes your relationship under. It wasn't going to last any sort of major conflict.
Yeah, true.
If you became famous tomorrow and couldn't walk down the street, I'd be like, well, cool, guess I'm going to get some wigs.
Yeah.
oh no, we'll need a bigger house with a security guard.
Let's stay in our mansion.
Yes.
You could do it the Marvel Cinematic Universe way, where you don't even bother with wigs. You just put on a baseball hat and you are invisible
and some sunglasses.
To the naked eye.
Yeah.
What about you?
So my favorite bit is probably just a little comedy moment where probably around the middle of the film, we see Cap coming into like a bunker to meet Howard Stark and Hayley Atwell. And while he's waiting, we see a army personnel lady played by Natalie Dormer, who we now know from Game of Thrones and The Hunger Games. But she is like, oh my God, the women of America owe you so much. And she kisses him. And then Peggy Carter witnesses this. And after Cap picks up a shield, Peggy shoots it.
Yeah.
And just, honestly, it's where Dominic Cooper earns his salary, because the look on his face when he's coming up from under his arm after she just shoots it in just the middle of a crowded room is wonderful. But yeah, it's just a really nice moment.
Fantastic scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, really great.
Yeah.
Natalie Dormer is fantastic and was later rumoured to be in the running to play Sue Storm in the Fantastic Four movie.
She'd have been great.
I think she really would.
She'd have been a really good Sue Storm.
Yeah. I hope they, like, that part was small enough.
Yeah.
That I hope they bring her back as a different character.
I really like her.
Yeah, she's great.
Anything she does, she's rock solid.
Yeah.
I think the first thing I properly remember her from is The Hunger Games. Now, part of why I remember her from that is because the other half of her little team in the film was played by Eldon Henson.
Oh,
who
fucking
I
Nelson.
Absolutely adore.
Yeah.
I'm just obsessed with him.
He's the best.
I just love him so much. So that was their little team. I'd read the books first, and then they're playing like a little filmmaking team basically in The Hunger Games. And I think he's mute. I think he's had his tongue cut out in the films.
Okay.
So he doesn't speak, but he's just it's Eldon Henson.
He's so great.
He could lie on the floor and I'd be like, what a performance.
Yeah.
Adore him.
Yeah,
he can do
so
no
good.
wrong. So I guess, I think she'd be an incredible Sue Storm. Oh, yeah. Shit, that would have been good.
Maybe we'll get her as someone at some point. What about low points? Do you have a low point in the film?
I don't really, to be honest.
Yeah, it's just really good.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Like, it's not my absolute top best film of all time.
No.
But, like, it's a solid.
You gonna rate it?
I'm like, if it was an all-time film of all films ever made, I'd give it like a 6. For a Marvel, I'd give it like a 7.5.
Okay, that's good.
What about you?
I probably agree with you there. I think, 7.5 is good. I think it is stronger than people kind of give it credit for.
Mm-hmm.
I do think that I probably like it more now than I did when I first saw it.
Yeah.
But it's just a great film.
Yeah.
And there's kind of like nothing goes wrong in the film. There's no part of it where I'm like, oh, I hate this bit.
Yeah. Like, I will say I haven't watched it recently. Like a lot of these films we've been discussing recently, we've watched the day before.
Yeah.
This is me going off, having seen it 20 times over the last 15 years.
Yeah.
Like we watch it minimum once a year.
Yeah.
Probably once a quarter.
Yeah.
Let's be realistic. So I've seen it enough times that it doesn't get old.
Yeah.
But it's a real kind of low-key, enjoyable, shovel popcorn in your mouth.
Yeah, fun time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Top notch.
I will say IMDb has this at 6.9 out of 10. Yeah.
See, I'm in touch with the people.
Yeah. You're a woman of the people. I've always said it.
Yeah, famously.
Yeah. This is also the last film of Phase 1 to introduce a new Avenger before we get into the Avengers movie.
Okay.
So we'll talk about that next week, but the Avengers is where all of these characters that we've met so far are going to team up. So I look forward to that one.
Yeah.
Any last moments on Captain America, the First Avenger?
No, I don't think so. I probably spent a lot of time on Pinterest after I saw this film, looking at 1940s hairstyles.
Nice.
I don't have the face for it.
You have a beautiful face.
Thank you. I do have a correction from one of our earlier episodes that I just forgot about. It is regarding our episode on Speed, where I said that Keanu Reeves played himself in Crazy Rich Asians, but actually he plays himself in Always Be My Maybe, which is an Ali Wong film.
That was a great film.
It's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. Ali Wong is great.
Yeah.
Really like her in a lot of stuff, but primarily Beef, which came out on Netflix a couple of years ago.
I haven't seen that.
So good.
But yes, that's my correction. I was just being a goose.
Fair play.
A goose.
All right, so we are done with Captain America, the First Avenger, a film that we both really like.
Yeah.
And we're back next week with The Avengers.
Or Avengers Assemble, as it was called in this part of the world.
I hate that.
Yeah, I know.
I hate that.
I'm sorry.
I know. No, we'll talk about that, but I hate that.
The Avengers Assemble is the first one that I do remember seeing in the cinema with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it would have been the third one.
Yep. Well, those first two really didn't have an impact on me.
No.
Nope.
Well, excellent.
Riddicks out!
Thanks for listening to this episode.
You can find us on Instagram at Riddicks_on or drop us an email at riddicksonpodcast@gmail.com.
Feel free to leave us a review wherever you're listening and share with a friend.
See you next time.